Steve Harrington should be dead, like scientifically, statistically, realistically. This man should not have made it past season 1, and yet somehow, every single time the universe lined up to take him out, it didn't. Today we're breaking down every moment Steve Harrington got absolutely, embarrassingly, inexplicably lucky, and what it says about why we actually love this character. Steve started out as the stereotypical popular jerk. You weren't supposed to root for him. He was the guy who spray painted a nasty message on the movie theater, who had a nice car, a bad attitude, and zero self-awareness. But somewhere between getting his face rearranged by Jonathan Byers and babysitting a group of middle schoolers against supernatural monsters, Steve Harrington became one of the most beloved characters in the whole show. And a huge part of that, pure unfiltered luck. Let's get into it. We've gone through all 4 seasons frame by frame, tracked every near-death experience, every wrong place at the wrong time, and every miracle saved that kept this man breathing. If you love Stranger Things, you're going to enjoy this one. Let's go. Point 1. He survived Jonathan's fists, Season 1. So here's where it all begins. Steve Harrington is not a good person in Season 1. He's arrogant, he's selfish, and at one point he publicly humiliates Nancy on a movie theater marquee. That alone should have ended him socially, but worse was coming. Jonathan Byers, who is quiet, reserved, and absolutely done with Steve's nonsense, beats Steve pretty badly in a fight. And Steve, he kind of deserved it. Here's where the luck kicks in. Instead of pressing charges, doubling down, or doing literally anything a normal, arrogant, rich kid would do, Steve has a moment, a real one. He shows up to help Joyce and Hopper. He grabs a bat, he fights the Demogorgon. That decision, that one choice to not run. That dance away no interference saved his entire character arc. If Steve had stayed a villain, he's irrelevant by season 2. But luck, timing, and one good decision flipped the script completely. Lucky break. The beating he took from Jonathan humbled him just enough to become someone worth watching. That's not character development. That's a cosmic gift. Point 2. He survived the Demogorgon with a baseball bat, season 1. Let's talk about this for a second. A high school kid with no training, no powers, no special knowledge, grabbed a nail bat and went toe-to-toe with a creature from another dimension that had already terrorized trained adults. The Demogorgon had been hunting all season. It took out people who knew what it was, and Steve just ran at it with a bat like he was heading to a baseball game. And he didn't die. Not only did he not die, he actually helped. He lit it on fire. He bought them time. He contributed in a real, meaningful way. Now yes, 11 eventually pushed it back into the upside down. But Steve's role there, that was luck wearing the costume of bravery. Most people in that scenario become a snack. Steve became a fan favorite. Lucky break. A creature that killed full-grown adults in the woods somehow didn't finish the job on the guy with the bat. Steve's plot armor was forged in season 1, and it has never left him. Point 3, he became the cool babysitter instead of a forgotten side character, season 2. This one's a little different, because the luck here isn't just in the story. It's in how the writers used him. By season 2, Steve had no real reason to be in the main plot. His relationship with Nancy was crumbling. He wasn't connected to Will's storyline. He could have just faded into the background like a lot of season 1 characters did. Instead, he gets paired with Dustin. And that pairing, Steve driving Dustin around, Steve giving hair advice, Steve reluctantly protecting a kid with a pack of demo dogs on their tail, became one of the most beloved dynamics in the entire show. Lucky break. Steve could have been written off quietly. Instead, the writers threw him into a car with a kid who needed a big brother, and the chemistry was so undeniable that Steve got a second life. That's luck. Right place, right kid, right moment. Point 4. He survived the Russian prison, season 3 and 4. Okay, now we really need to talk. In season 3, Steve gets kidnapped, drugged, and taken to a secret Russian facility underneath a shopping mall. He gets beaten, multiple times, by trained agents, people who do this for a living. He does not have superpowers. He doesn't have military training. He has a bat, loyalty to his friends, and apparently an absolutely indestructible jaw. He survives the torture. He escapes, barely, with Robin and Dustin and Erica. They fight their way through a Russian base filled with armed soldiers. They almost get recaptured. They almost get killed by the Mind Flayer at the mall. And then, in season 4, it gets worse. Steve literally gets dragged into the upside down through a lake. He is underwater, in another dimension, being attacked by bat creatures called Demobats. He fights them off while drowning. He climbs out. He keeps going. At one point, Vecna is actively targeting people, the most powerful villain the show has produced, and Steve, still here, still swinging. Lucky break. Every single one of these moments had a 10% survival rate, max. Steve hit the lottery over and over. The Russian beatdowns alone should have put him in a coma. Instead, he walked out of Starcourt Mall and drove home. This man is unkillable and nobody can explain it. Point 5, he keeps almost getting the girl. And it somehow makes us root for him more every season. Here's the one people don't talk about enough. Steve doesn't win. Romantically. At all. He loses Nancy to Jonathan. He develops real feelings for Robin in season 3, and she comes out to him, which is a beautiful moment, but also another door closing. Every season, there's a hint that maybe, just maybe, Steve is going to find his person, and every season, nope. But here's the thing. This endless, almost luck in his love life is exactly why we keep rooting for him. He handles rejection with more grace than his season 1 self ever could have managed. He cheers Robin on. He's genuinely happy for the people around him even when things don't go his way. The luck here? He keeps getting close enough to love to stay invested, but not so close that the character gets wrapped up neatly. It's the perfect amount of hope to keep audiences attached to him for 4 seasons. If Steve had gotten the girl in season 1, there's no arc. If he never came close, we wouldn't care. The writers accidentally or brilliantly gave him just enough emotional luck to keep us watching. Lucky break, being the perpetual almost hero, almost romantic lead turned Steve into the most human character in a show full of superpowers. That's the biggest luck of all. So here's the thing about Steve Harrington. He's not the smartest. He's not the most powerful. He doesn't have psychic abilities or government connections or a genius brain. What he has is something the show keeps giving him over and over again. A chance to be better, a chance to survive when he shouldn't, a chance to matter when the story could have left him behind. And every single time, he takes it. That's why Steve works as a character. His luck isn't just plot convenience, it's the show saying sometimes people get second chances and sometimes they actually use them. If you made it this far, you clearly love Stranger Things as much as we do. Drop a comment telling us, what do you think is Steve's single luckiest moment? Is it surviving the Demogorgon in season 1, coming out of that Russian prison, or just somehow still being alive after 4 seasons of absolute chaos? We read every comment. We love the debate. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe. We break down moments like this from your favorite shows every week. And if you want more Stranger Things content, check out the video on screen right now. We'll see you in the next one.